Hello friends, this is Ashmit Goyal and today I'm going to show the design of footing for the building which we have previously designed in the videos. So this is the part of the course Structural and Foundation Analysis from Skyfire Labs. The problem statement of the today's problem will be displayed on the screen. So as you can see, we are going to design the footing for 16 columns as shown in the figure, and as we have previously designed the building. So today we are going to design and analyze the footing for the same. So we will be taking the safe bearing capacity of the soil as 300 kilonewtons per meter and an allowable settlement of 1 centimeter. We'll be taking 16 columns with a distance of 6 meter vertically and horizontally. The column properties as shown in the figure has been taken from the ETABS model which we've designed earlier in the previous videos. So these are 16 columns for which the dead load and live load is being calculated by the model. We'll be taking M40 and M40 grade concrete and HYSD 500 grade steel. The subgrade modulus is as shown. The subgrade modulus is equals to safe bearing capacity divided by allowable settlement. So we'll be taking 300 divided by 1 centimeter, which will be converted, and it will be 3 into 10 to the power 4 kilonewtons per meter cube. So after this, we'll be going on to the software. We'll be using SAFE for the foundation design analysis. So let's move on to the software and let's see how we are going to design the footing. So here we are in the software window, and let's create the new file and move on. So the design code we'll be using is IS456-2000, and the design preferences will be set as follows. We'll be taking a clear minimum cover of 50 mm, and for the both bottom and top, we'll be taking the preferred bar size of 22. Let's click OK. All the settings will remain same. We'll take the unit of the metric unit, which is metric default. Now we'll be taking designing grids. So let's define the grids. In X direction, we'll be taking 19 grids, and in Y direction, we'll also be taking 19 grids. These grids are taken as one extra. So we are having 18, that is 6 plus 6 plus 6 equals to 18. 18 meter is the distance of the footing, and we'll be taking 2 meter later, which will be for the foundation part. So for now, we have taken 19 in the X direction and 19 in the Y direction. The distance between the spacing we'll be taking in the grids will be 1 meter in both the directions. So now the grid is defined, and now we'll be defining the materials used for the footing. So we'll go to add new material, and in new material we'll define M40 grade concrete. The values for M40 grade concrete can be taken directly from internet. It is readily available. If you type there, it will be available. I have already searched the values and I'll put them in the columns. So as you can see, my M40 grade concrete is defined. Let's define another material, that is HYSD 500 steel. Material type will be rebar this time. The properties for HYSD 500 steel will also be available on internet. These properties remains the same for a particular type of material, depending on their properties. So our HYSD 500 steel is also defined. Let's move on and define the slab properties. For the slab properties, since we are taking mat foundation, so we'll be defining the footing properties. So add new properties and we'll define the footing here. Slab material will be M40 as we have defined earlier, and this time we'll be having mat footing. So the type of footing will be mat. Initially, we'll be considering a 500 mm thickness. Later on, as we proceed the design and analysis, we can change the thickness of the footing. So our footing is defined. Let's move on and define our columns. We will be having two types of columns. One will be of 500 into 500 mm and another one will be 600 into 600 mm dimensions. So let's define our column 500 into 500 dimensions. We'll be taking M40 for the column 2. Oops. So we have defined our column 500 into 500. Let's define second column as 600 into 600 dimensions. This is already defined, so let's go define the dimension, and this is done. So we have both the columns defined. Click OK, and let's define the soil properties, soil subgrade properties. In the soil subgrade properties, we have already soil 1 property shown. We'll see the properties given defined whether it is correct or not. So as you can see, we have earlier calculated the subgrade modulus as 3 into 10 to the power 4. So we'll change it to 3, and this means 3 into 10 to the power 4. Or we can directly type 30,000. 30,000. Let's click OK, and our soil subgrade property has been defined. Now let's define the loads. We'll check that load patterns is already been defined correctly with the dead load and live load. So let's see the load cases. In load cases, we want linear static for both the dead and live load. So let's click OK. Now load combination. We'll have to define the load combinations by ourselves. So we'll be defining two load combinations. Combo 1. In combo 1, we'll be taking dead load and a scale factor of 1.5. For live load also, we'll be taking a scale factor of 1.5 only. This will be strength ultimate. Now add another combo. The other combo will be having scale factor is 1. So this time the design selections will be service normal, service initial, and service long term. So both the combinations for the load is defined. Now let's define the. Now all the properties has been defined. So we will start drawing the slab. Let's go to draw and draw slab's area. See, the property has been taken as footing, which we have defined earlier. So we'll be drawing an 18 into 18 square footing. So our footing is drawn. Now press escape to exit this dialog box. After drawing the footing, we'll extend this footing by 2 meters on each side. For this, we have to select the footing by clicking on the footing area. Here we can see that one area and 4 edges is selected. That means the footing is selected. So we'll go and edit areas and expand or shrink areas. We will enter a value of 2000 since it is in millimeters. So as you can see, the footing has been extended for the foundation purpose. Now let's draw the columns. For columns, we'll be taking column 500 into 500 first, and since it will be in below, so we'll be taking this as none and above property as column 500 into 500. We'll be taking height below is 0 and above as 2. So properties is defined. Let's move on and draw the columns. The columns will be defined in such a way that the column in the middles will be of column 600 into 600 property, and columns on the corners will be column 500 into 500. This information has been taken directly from ETABS software model. On a distance of 6 meters, we'll placing the columns. Once this column is defined, press escape. Now for the other column, go again to draw columns. This time we'll be taking the properties as column 600 to 600 and placing the columns in between. So from the lowermost column, we'll be taking a distance of 6 meter and defining the column here. Similarly, 6 meter above. So all our columns have been drawn. Press escape again. After drawing the column, let's move on and draw the design strips. So for drawing the strips, we'll go to draw design strips. Here, as we have calculated earlier, with the help of this formula, we have 0.25 L1 or L2, whichever is lesser. So we have the length as 18 or both L1 and L2. So we'll be taking 0.25 into 18, that is 4.5. So now we'll be taking 4 meter as a strip width. So here we will change the width as 4 in all the columns. We'll be taking strip layer A for the X direction and strip layer B for the Y direction. Let's move on and draw. This could be a little complicated because we have to zoom in and get the exact point. We have to do this carefully or else the lines will move up or down. Design strip for layer A are drawn. Now we'll change the design layer as B and draw the design strips in Y direction. So our design strips has been drawn. Let's press escape and move on to the next step. So our next step is to assign the soil to the footing. For this, we have to select the footing area by clicking on the footing. As you can see, one area and 4 edges is selected. So we'll go on to assign support data, soil properties. In soil properties, for selecting the soil 1, press OK. The soil 1 is applied. Is assigned to the footing. Now we have to assign loads to each column. The loads has been taken from the previous design from the ETABS model, and we are going to select each point and going to assign the load for each point. Carefully select the middle point of the column and go to assign loads, point loads. First, we are going to assign the loads for 500 to 500 dimension columns. The name of the load pattern will be dead load, and we'll be applying load in the gravity Z direction. The dead load for this case will be 1850 kilonewtons, and the dimension will be 500 and 500 in both these columns. The option will be add to existing load. Press OK. So dead load is defined. Now let's again select the column center. We can check after selecting each center as 1 point selected. This time we are going to assign the live load. The live load value is 797.6. Rest of the things will remain same. So our live load and dead load has been applied to column 1. Similarly, we will go on applying the dead load and live load to all the columns. Just simply select the center of the column, go to assign, load data, point loads. This time we are going to apply the dead load first time. So again change to dead load, and dead load will be 3013.3. Dimensions will remain the same. This is a lengthy process. We have to select each point again and again and assign the load. The live load value in this case will be 1437. Now all the loads have been defined, and for the each column, depending on the property of each column. So we can check if the assigned load are there or not on the column by the color which has been changed from green to red. As you can see, one column is left from defining the loads, that is this column. So we can assign the load again. This is a 600 into 600 dimension column, so we will add the dimensions 600 here. That the dead load in this column will be 5191.3. Again applying the live load. The live load in this case will be 2709.1. Now all the loads have been applied. Let's move on. Now we have to change the steel which is there in the footing. So by right clicking on the footing, we can see the design of the footing, and the rebar material used here is not HYSD 500. So change it to HYSD 500 and click OK. After changing the steel material of the footing, we will have to change the steel material of the design strips. So by clicking on right click on the design strip, you can see that the rebar material here is not HYSD 500, so we'll change it to HYSD 500. We have to do this step again and again for each design strip. After this, all the loads and the design properties, material properties for the footing has been defined. Let's move on and run the analysis on the design. For running the analysis, we have to save the model. We will save it as mat footing. After saving, the software will run the analysis, and the displacement of each point, the slab displacement of each point will be shown. After running the analysis, run the design and analysis again. After running the analysis and design, we can go and check the punching shear failure. In the display, show punching shear design. So here we can see that each point is coming greater than 1 as a shear design. So since we are getting it greater than 1, so we have to change the thickness of the footing. So unlock your model. It will show the dialog box that all the result will be deleted. Press OK and change the dimensions of the footing. Modify properties and change it to 900. After changing it to 900, go and run analysis and design again. again we can check the show punching design. Again, still we are getting it greater than 1, so we have to increase the depth of the footing a little bit more. This time we will change the depth to 1200 mm. Still, in 1 or 2 columns we are getting the punching shear as more than 1. So by increasing the width of the footing further, we can decrease them. Now all the columns are having the shear as the design shear as less than 1, so we can proceed to the detailing. Here we can check rest of the options from the display. We can have the forces and stresses. Similarly, we can see the show strip forces, and when we hover over any point, we can see the value of that point. Now, after running the design analysis, we have to run the detailing. Selecting all these 3, we will run the detailing. So the detailing of the plan is ready, and in the detailing dialog box, go on to the drawing component view, slab view, and the framing plan. Here we can see all the list of all the bars that we have used in the diameters with the length is been displayed. Moving on to the bill of quantities, here is the quantity of the rebar material that we have used in the software. Moving on into the individual slab view, into the mat one, we can see the rebar plan which is shown here. This is the plan of how the rebars will be arranged in the footing. The top rebar plan is also there. Earlier one was the bottom one. Similarly, we can have all the different types of plans which are listed here. We can have the profile view, the section view, So the section view is also shown for 2 sections, which was earlier displayed in the plan view. The drawing sheets and the cover and all the details is been displayed here. We can move these designs according to our wish. So once the detailing is done, we can see the cracks that will be there in the model. In the display menu, we can click on show crack width, and for the particular load case, we can see the cracks. So here we are first shown the bottom face cracks. If we change it to the slab top face, we will be shown the cracks which will be there on the top of the slab. So this way we can get all the properties and the design of the footing. Hence, our footing is designed and according to the IS 456 and considering all the other specifications. Thank you.